Okay. Go. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Jen, will you take roll call, please?
Commissioner Wire.
Here.
Commissioner Waldner.
Here.
Commissioner Shaw.
Here.
Commissioner Thill.
Here.
Mayor Denner.
Here. We have the agenda in front of us. I would like a motion to adopt the agenda, removing item number 2.
So approved. I'll second.
Okay. Any further comments or discussion? Not hearing any. Jen, will you take roll call vote?
Commissioner Shaw.
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner.
Aye.
Commissioner Wire.
Aye.
Commissioner Thill.
Aye.
Mayor Denner.
Aye. Under the appearances and acknowledgement, we have Mr. Johnson here about the Woodbury Courts, trailer court. We also have Breton Bender here, which is the manager. And I did invite one of the partners. I don't know if they're online or not. But Mike, I know you came and talked to us about it in public comments. I know Commissioner Shaw had some questions. Did you want to start off with anything new, or?
Well, first of all, and Brent and I worked together and fixed the water leak today. There's no qualms between the manager and myself. And the owners of the trailer are well aware of my intent, and I talked with them. One of the owners.
Okay.
Okay. The condition, Mr. Bender, Brenton, he's the manager. He's doing what he can to clean up and what have you. But the responsibility goes back onto the owners of the property. Okay. What I want to know is, it's kind of a rhetorical question. What's the city commission's next step?
Mr. Jinks isn't here. He was tied up, but he'll be in later. We are looking at a property owner there, and we're also talking to the partner. I had a conversation with one of the partners today over text. Told him my concerns. Breton called me just before I sent that email back to him, and I think we got the garbage. Is that still a go, Breton? Yep. We are going to remove the community dumpster out of there, and everybody's going to get a dumpster, and Bud's Cleanup will pick up individually. So that should help alleviate all the mess in the dumpster area.
Okay, that'll be one aspect.
Yep.
Next aspect is, one or two of these abandoned trailers. Now, I've done a little bit of homework, and the city attorney has the power and the responsibility, if the commission tells him to do it, to get the abandoned trailers cleaned up.
Okay.
Okay. And as a general rule, there's a few trailers up there that look fine, look nice, but it's old. And if some of these structures were sitting on private lots, like I said last time, is the city attorney would be telling them either you either get them improved or we're going to take them down. And like I said last time, I kind of feel like a broken record, but you want development, you want housing and what have you, and you get to this point where you've got a decent twin home, and the comment I get is, I don't mind living next to a trailer court, but this is terrible. Okay. it's not just one specific trailer or one area, it's general. But like when I was going to college up at Brookings back, from 77 to 81, the city of Brookings made an ordinance that only so many people can live in a dwelling. Does the city of Madison have anything on record or ordinance limiting the number of people in a dwelling?
I'd have to check on that.
That I don't know. The answer is that depends on how it's zoned.
Okay.
The answer is generally yes, but it depends on the zoning, which I don't have in front of me right now.
Mike, number of abandoned trailers that are up there that you know of?
2.
I'm thinking, yeah, two.
And one of them, both of them, the one just recently came up for auction in the sheriff's department.
Okay.
The other one was up for auction like 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
There's back taxes on them, and that's the
Okay.
biggest thing is, the owners don't want to have to pay the back taxes in order to dispose of them. And it's already going to cost $2,500 just to get rid of them, on top of another $4,000 back tax.
Sure. Yep.
I did get a note here that one of the owners, or partners, Ryan, is on the line. Did you want to say something, Ryan?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Both partners are here in my
Okay.
office right now, James Richards and myself. I think as you are aware, and you're welcome to share my email with the entire commission, in the short, going on 14 months here roughly, it has been 14 months that we have owned the park, we have torn out 3 trailers, and one of them was a double wide that sat split for several years in there and unoccupied, and we have torn out 2 other trailers, one that was abandoned, and we made arrangements with that trailer owner where he would owe us the money for the demolition of that trailer. And we have made those steps already. As far as number 305, which I think Mr. Johnson is referencing, currently we cannot do anything with that trailer besides provide an eviction notice because we do not own that property. I have talked with the sheriff's office about the back taxes, and they asked if we would purchase the property, and we're not interested in purchasing a property that just needs to be demolished. We don't want to pay the demo fee, or we don't want to pay any sort of building permit costs associated with that, or back taxes associated with that, just for us to incur the $2,500 to tear it down and get rid of it. Now, if something can get worked out with the trailer owner, where they are willing to pay that over a period of time, we may be interested in that, but that hasn't worked out very well in the past. There is one other I believe it's county-owned trailer in the park, which we are unsure of how to handle, that is completely abandoned. It's been vacant for the whole year. And quite honestly, I don't know, at the end of the day, who's responsible for getting rid of it. Is it the county because they bought it on back taxes, or does it go back to the prior owner? That's a big question mark that we have there. We did work with Buds. We're scheduled to hopefully get that started either end of this week or next week. We just signed a proposal with an asphalt company. The entire park's getting patched and getting a 1.5-inch lift on top of it. So as far as anybody that's on the park prior, I think we've already stepped up to the plate to try and help improve this. And Brenton can maybe vouch for us that we are willing to step up and start pointing fingers at people and saying, take care of your stuff. Because, I mean, it's not doing us any favors because we want to fill that place up. And the reason why it's not filling up is because the condition has been left in for several years. This isn't a new thing, and I think the neighbors can vouch that, I mean, it's no surprise way it is for several years now. So, and to my knowledge, talking to several different people, we're some of the first ones that have actually stepped up and started to do a few things that needed to be done. So, I mean, if there's any more specific comments or questions for us, I'd be happy to answer them, but that's just kind of a recap on where we are and where we're going. So.
Okay, thank you. Did you have any other questions, Mike?
Well, you know, I've done a little research, and the city can go in and condemn the property and require it to be removed. And if I can address Ryan, yes, I appreciate the amount of effort you have in cleaning up the place. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't go unnoticed. But I think things have to be, you know, keep moving forward.
And if I may, Mr. Mayor, yes, the property can be condemned, but that property is the trailer owner. Keep that in mind. We don't have title to those trailers. We don't have legal authority over the trailer. We can serve an eviction notice, but they're still responsible for hooking up to it and moving it out, or having it demoed themselves. So I just want to make sure, yes, the city can condemn properties, but I mean, I guess if the question is being asked, should the entire park be condemned? I guess I would contest that, but I do believe that, I mean, there are certain property rights those trailer owners have as well. So that's all I have.
Any other questions?
The other thing to keep in mind too is a lot of the people that live up there, they live paycheck to paycheck. For them to paint their trailer, it's not just to go buy it on the weekend and do it. It's a monthly thing that they have to pay for. And they don't have the means to do it. Some of them don't even have the means to paint it themselves. So.
I know it isn't going to be an overnight fix. It's going to be a big project. I guess these two trailers that the county owns and the one that has back taxes, maybe I can look into the county and see what they're going to plan on doing with that, and the other one will work on that. So.
Does the two that the county owns, are those the ones that they're the two that are vacant?
Empty, yep. And they both have back taxes on them. I know the one is quite substantial. That's been empty for probably going on at least 7 years.
That's the one the county owns?
It's been a back and forth between the county and the courthouse and then us, and then, I get a phone call every year, and it's like, well, we don't know who owns it. We can't just get rid of it.
Sure.
Well, I'll see if I can find out between me and David. Maybe we can look into those two.
Because I think you'd want to get it out of there and fill it,
Right.
being the owner.
That's the long term, is
Yeah.
getting the bad ones out and bringing in new ones, which they have brought in 3 newer trailers that are really nice, so they're trying.
Okay. Any other comments? Not hearing any. We'll move on to the consent calendar.
If I may, the consent calendar simply has the minutes. I have Mr. Kestelut's name incorrect. I have Alex, it should be Austin. I will change before publication. My apologies to Austin.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar with that change?
So moved.
Second.
Any further comments? Not hearing any. Jen, will you take roll call?
Commissioner Thel,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
We have no items under unfinished business. We'll move into new business. Number 1, Nancy, authorize the mayor to sign letter State of South Dakota CARES Act Library Technology Grant.
Yes, this is a position I never in a million years expected to be in, but I am here asking you to authorize the mayor to sign the letter that declines the grant for technology. Last Monday, I got a notice from the state library saying that in order to have this grant at the Madison Public Library, we needed to be SIPA compliant, and we are not. SIPA is the Children's Internet Protection Act, and the library board has always maintained that it's a kind of censorship, and it is not, it does not support the mission of the library. There are places where SIPA is absolutely appropriate, but public libraries, maybe not. So this was not stated when we applied for the grant. Had that been stated, I could have saved us a lot of time and effort preparing the grant, because we would not have applied. So.
And you were going to use this grant for your,
My internet hotspots.
okay?
And if there is a bright side to this, it's that I remembered that we have money from John Maloney. I don't know if you, Bob, you must have known John Maloney.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was very concerned about education. And he was especially concerned about technology and education because he was afraid that it would price some students out of getting a degree, for example. So it seems to me that internet hotspots are exactly what he would want us to spend our money on, because they will provide internet access to students who may or may not have adequate access in their homes. So I have to talk to the library board about that, but I think that they will agree as well, and we will still get internet hotspots.
Was there anything else?
Nothing else unless you have questions.
I will ask for a motion to authorize the mayor to sign letter State of South Dakota CARES Act Library Technology Grant.
So approved.
But we're declining it?
We are declining it.
So you're signing to decline it?
Yep.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any further comments, discussion, any questions for Nancy?
Nancy, how do you police the computers with the kids then? Out of curiosity.
Well, we can see what they're doing
Okay.
from the circulation desk. We also can see what they're doing because we've positioned the computers so that we can monitor them without going very far away. Actually, it's safe to say, I think, that we do have children on our computers, but more often we have adults.
Okay.
And I have never had a problem with kids on the computer. I do have problems with adults.
Yep.
They seem to know exactly what they want to do, and mostly it's just to play a game.
Any further comments, discussion? Not hearing any. Jen, will you take roll call?
Commissioner Ware,
And again, this is to deny?
The fun.
the letter states the same.
Okay. Aye.
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Commissioner Thel,
Aye.
Mayor Denner.
Aye. Go into item 3. Chad, did you want to talk about review and award bid number 894 Memorial Park Playground Concrete Slab Project 2020-3?
Yes, I can, Your Honor. Included in the bid packet, the agenda packet is a bid tabulation for said bid. There was one bidder from Advanced Contracting Solutions LLC out of Madison, South Dakota. The bid was for $30,908.33. This, I had talked with Park Foreman Mike McGilvery, and this was in the range of his budget as I understand it. And this is a project that they're looking to complete this concrete slab so then he can proceed with next steps or next phases, which include the erection of the playground equipment, and also I believe there's a matting that he is going to have installed on top of the concrete as well for that project. And then he's going to do some more of his own work, like grading and seeding and some minor things like that, as well as I understand it. So, my knowledge, this is within what he had anticipated in the overall project budget. And we've worked with Advanced Contracting Solutions before. They did talk to us before the bid, and they were there for the bid opening. And they're comfortable with the bid and would like to proceed. I would recommend that we award it to Advanced Contracting Solutions, also known as ACS.
Okay. Do I have a motion to review and award bid number 894 Memorial Park Playground Concrete Slab Project 2020-3?
So moved.
Second.
I don't see Mike here. Maybe is Mike McGilvery
Mike's
on?
not. He's got another meeting.
Okay. Are we gonna? You talked about grading and that because that's pretty high elevation right now. So are we having like a sidewalk leading up to that?
Yeah, Mike has plans for a sidewalk, and we've coordinated the elevations.
Okay.
Part of the reason is to get everything going in the right direction. It all naturally currently drains to the northeast, and that's the slope we've elected to utilize for that to make sure we don't have our concrete pads hitting in a hole or something like that. So, yeah, he's going to fill in some of the topsoil and seeding, and if there's any, shouldn't be much, if at all, drainage, swale, installation or anything, but he's going to do the fine grading is what I understand.
Okay. Bob can correct me if I'm wrong. I know I have talked to Mike McGilvery. We're hoping as soon as, if we accept this bid, they're going to jump right on it, get it poured jet this year. They're hoping to get the equipment installed.
Yeah.
And if times allows.
Yet this fall.
What's that?
Yet this fall.
Right. And if time allows, they're going to do the foam.
Yeah.
Right. If not, we're going to do it first thing in the spring. So we should have that part completed by spring.
Is there a time limit on that, getting that playground equipment up for the grant funding?
We just need to have everything in to us by December 31st, 2021, right, Kristen?
Correct.
Okay.
Reimbursements and everything have to be completed by December 31st of 2021.
Well, he wants to get it up as quick as he can, but.
Okay. All right. There, any other comments or discussion? Not hearing any. Jen, do you want to take roll call vote?
Commissioner Waldner.
Aye.
Commissioner Wire.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw.
Aye.
Commissioner Thill.
Aye.
Mayor Leonard.
Aye.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Item number 4. Brad, this one is yours if you want to talk about it. Review and award bid number 895 sewer jet trailer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioners, we have on the agenda item number 4, review the bids. We have one bid from the city of Freeman for $14,500. We had a, if you will, a left bid with the equipment manufacturer for the replacement sewer jet trailer of $12,500. So this exceeds what they were going to give us for a trade-in allowance by $2,000. I'd recommend that the commission accept this bid on the condition that we do purchase the sewer jet trailer as requested.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to review and award bid number 895 sewer jet trailer?
So moved.
Second.
Any further comments or discussion?
I've worked with their finance officer. We can expect their check on September 14th. That's okay as far as what you were, okay?
Okay. Not hearing any other comments or discussion. Jen, will you take roll call vote?
Commissioner Wyer,
Aye.
Commissioner Walter,
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Thill,
Aye.
and Mayor Denner.
Aye. Item number 5, I think that's also yours, Brad. Set bid date of September 10th, 2020, for bid number 896, Padma VFI switch gears.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this item is part of what we want to do to eliminate any issues in the future for having outages with flooding along Memorial Creek and Park Creek. We have 2 switches on this bid that we want to replace. There were 2 that did go underwater enough to where it shorted them out, and we lost power to, I think it was somewhere initially around 200 residents, and we got it down to something like 138 by rerouting the power until we could replace the one switch. And the other one was temporarily, it took down the hospital, Falcon Jail, and everything down on South Union there until we could get that one, that one shut off. And then at that time, it was just Jail that was primarily out of power. We'd like to get those 2 switches replaced sooner than later. I mean, right now it's very dry, and flooding is probably the furthest thing from everybody else's mind, but in my mind, service to our customers is the #1 thing, and we want to make sure that we don't lose power to them in their greatest time of need, because there were quite a few people that weren't inside the flood area that lost power, that had sump pumps that quit running and had issues with their homes, and that's not fair to them to have that issue. So I think that we need to do everything we can to do that. We have some money in the budget for this, and we had planned on this earlier this year, and we delayed it until now, wanting to see what happened with COVID. We got some quotes on these. They're too expensive to do as a direct purchase, so we'll do them as a bid.
What are you estimating?
Just a little under 55,000.
Each or 4?
That's for the pair. I think
For
it's
pair.
32 and 28, something like that. It'll be just shy of 60,000. It's been a couple days since we looked at the numbers, but it's enough that we have to go over it's over the bid amount. So.
Okay. So do I have a motion to set bid date of September 10th, 2020 for bid number 896, Padma VFI switch gears?
So moved.
Second.
Any further comments or discussion?
How did that fall, Brad, on this map again? Which switches?
That one right there is the one for down at Gale, Manitou Gale, that encompassed the hospital, and the other one was on Memorial Creek, and I can say which one that is.
Does everybody want a copy of this?
Could I see it?
Yeah, so I was gonna circle it and pass it around here. The
I'm more out of
affected,
curiosity.
they threw affected area together.
There's 5 switches total we want to do eventually.
Yeah.
Like this first one is how it was switched during the flood for Gale.
Thank you.
Ideally, it'd be do all 5, but
Sure.
we're gonna go with the biggest 2 to begin with.
So it's the first one, and then, like if it was to go out today,
That's one
it's
we
the
already
second
own.
sheet.
This is what we're going to.
And then the Circuit 10 Memorial Park is
Waterproof,
that.
submersible. They don't
That's
advertise that, but
We already have one of these type of switches in stock, or as far as in the field, so we thought that if we were going to buy more switches, we'd like to get the same one, so we don't inventory ourselves to death with a bunch of different types of switches. To give you a backdrop on a switch almost identical to that, during the 2011 flood on the Missouri River, we had one in the city of Fort Pierre that sat out by the Pizza Ranch. It was not protected by any kind of flood barrier. It had water halfway up on the switch for 100 days. And that switch performed flawlessly, energized the whole time. We had another one, a much bigger switch that was totally submerged for almost a period of 10 days. And it came through with flying colors. So these switches are capable of withstanding high water. And with the flooding here, the flooding goes through fairly quickly. And I don't think we'll have any problem with that. So these have proven track record here in South Dakota and some pretty big floods. So.
Any further comment or discussion?
Is there anything that you need to do with that transformer over by the elementary school that gets underwater when we, you know which one I'm talking about, right
The
there?
one in the drainage ditch?
Right there behind that first house?
Yeah.
That partner gets covered up every time we get a heavy rain in. That can't be good for that one either.
Short term, it's not too much of an issue. If you go long term, then it becomes an issue. During the 2011 flood, we left all of our transformers on at the City Fort Pier, and all of the transformers, except one, made it all the way through without failing. And we did lose some of the bushings on them, and so, but we left the power on as long as we could. And the transformers, only one of them failed, and I think we had something like 12 or so on the submerged. And so we came out of that relatively good, but that was for 100 days. And that was an extreme case of, complete submersion for that time. So that is something to look at. If there's any, if we have enough cable there, we might be able to raise it up or do something that might get it temporarily better. But intermittent flooding doesn't hurt them as long as there's not a lot of silt or anything with it, and I don't believe there is in this location. So.
We're gonna bill for that.
Any further comments? Not hearing any. Jen, will you take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Shaw.
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner.
Aye.
Commissioner Ware.
Aye.
Commissioner Thel.
Aye.
Mayor Denner.
Aye. Update on COVID. I'd like to just repeat what we have been saying before. Please wear your mask when you go into businesses to help curb the numbers for us. Anybody else?
It is good to see the active cases are slowly coming down. I am a little alarmed with how fast our numbers went up over the weekend. I mean, I'm sure a lot of that other attested to the rally, I would assume, but in 2 weeks we're going to turn around and do the state fair, and then we'll really have a true test of the pulse of what's going to happen, I'm afraid. So it's good to have kids in school, and we need to keep things going on that side of it too. So.
I think part of what you're seeing is that everybody that postponed their weddings from the spring, they're now starting to have them, and you're seeing these gatherings, and I think you're going to see people that have postponed all this stuff are going to start doing it now.
Yeah.
We did clip the peak earlier in the year, but we're probably going to have a double hump camel here. So.
Yeah. Well, and college back in session and kids back together, and it'll be interesting to see how it shakes. 251 was a little shocking on Saturday. We'll get through it.
For the state, too. You know what Lake County had?
We were +3.
Yeah.
But I think we're down to like 5 active cases.
5 or 6 active, yeah.
Okay.
Better than we were.
Yep. Anything else? Not hearing anything? Public comment?
Nothing tonight.
Nothing for public comment. Any announcements? Not hearing any. Do I have a motion to go into exec session?
So moved.
Second.
You got a motion and a second? All in favor, signify by aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carried. And then after our exec session, we will come out and we'll get into the budget discussion.
And there's a new budget link. Anybody joining us remotely, go out to the website. There's a new budget link to get on when exec is done.
Okay.
Thank you. Stay on those guys.